Vladimir Putin ordered the creation of unmanned forces in Russia. The task is to create more than 65 new UAVs. The Defense Ministry claims that manufacturers are allegedly creating up to 40,000 drones and 5,000 electronic warfare systems per month. But analysts at the ISW believe that the creation of such a unit could impair cooperation between different branches of the Russian military.
The Russian Ministry of Defense described the Unmanned Systems Forces as a separate branch, which is consistent with Putin's prior description and indicates that the Unmanned Systems Forces will likely centralize control over Russian drone operators under the Ministry of Defense rather than Russian ground commanders. From an Institute for the Study of War report.
It may take 6 to 12 months to organize a separate branch of troops in the Russian army, experts say. The decision to create troops of unmanned systems may be linked to the successful use of similar units in Ukraine. The Russians are likely to replicate the general principles of the Ukrainian unmanned force, which was established as a separate branch of the Ukrainian armed forces in February 2024, experts say. The Ukrainian Special Boat Service consists of battalions and regiments of unmanned systems, and they provide support to troops on the front line, perform defensive and offensive tasks, as well as conduct special operations using kamikaze and maritime drones. Ukrainian drones have been successfully attacking enterprises and military facilities in Russia. For example, in the Rostov region, the region's largest oil refinery Novoshakhtinsky has shut down after drone attacks. The Moscow Times reports that both oil refining units at the plant are idle. It was the only working refinery in the Rostov region, and it supplied the needs of the Russian occupation army in Ukraine. This is the third production stoppage since the beginning of the year.
The main part of drones with a range of up to 1,000 kilometers. Their number continues to grow. In the summer, Ukraine reached parity in the number of drones launched against Russian rear targets. The increase in the volume of Russian drones is due to the increased deliveries from Iran and North Korea.
Ukraine continues to introduce new types of weapons. Ukrainian General Staff reported the conclusion of tests of a line of drones with fiber optic connection. Such drones are not only invulnerable to electronic warfare, but also ensure more safety for operators.
The specifics of flying are interesting. One cannot fly the usual way, it has to be slow and gradual, on one hand, while on the other ensuring that the spool unwinds evenly. At the same time, they must be aware of the obstacles beneath. Some types of trees are good for this line to land on. Even if there's wind, nothing happens to it. For other types of trees and sharps, it doesn't land well. Currently, Russians are flying up to 5 kilometers, with some reaching 7 kilometers. An ambitious goal has been set to fly 10 kilometers, and there are already some spools that can reach 15 or 17 kilometers.
The Ukrainian Defense Forces conducted their first attack exclusively with robotic systems lately. No infantry involvement. In its report, the Institute for the Study of War cited a representative of the Ukrainian National Guard's Khartia Brigade, Volodymyr Degtyaryov, who reported an attack on the Russian positions near the village of Liptsi, north of Kharkiv.
Ukrainian officials have repeatedly highlighted Ukraine's efforts to utilize technological innovations and asymmetric strike capabilities to offset Ukraine's manpower limitations, in contrast with Russia's willingness to accept unsustainable casualty rates for marginal territorial gains. From an Institute for the Study of War report.
The drone coalition will start providing Ukraine with thousands of UAVs in January, as reported by the deputy head of the UK Defense Ministry, Luke Pollard. According to him, the announced aid package from London provides funds for the purchase of air defense systems, barrage munitions, reconnaissance and surface drones, and mine-clearing drones. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Victoria Smirnova, UATV.